Hello and welcome to the People's Podcast, episode number 25. Yeah, episode number 25. And yeah, if you're wondering what happened to episode 23 and 4, well, actually, interesting story. Technically speaking, the Combo Fiend episode was actually 23, but the reason why I didn't call it episode 23 was because I actually did indeed, after I went to T-Sports, recorded Return of the Sponge Cake, i.e. a podcast with Hado Shrooms and Neville Banshu. But what happened was, I then promptly lost that episode.
Are you kidding? You actually lost it? Had Shrooms on the mic and you've lost it?
Well, yeah, do you know what it was? Because, do you know that cool little voice recording device I have? It takes those bloody micro SD cards. You know how bloody tiny they are, don't you?
Yeah. Did you swallow it? Did you put it in your Subway sandwich?
No, what actually happened was, the funny thing is, I actually took out the little tiny card in order to extract the files for the Combo Fiend one, and then I extracted the files, then I put it somewhere, and then I can't remember where I put it, and I have properly turned my room upside down, so...
Oh, we kept some fucking Combo Fiend podcast, but we lost one from players that actually matter.
Well, no, it was just because it was... no, it wasn't like that. It was because, obviously, it came right after I did the Combo Fiend Kumite, so it kind of made sense I should pair them up. I mean... Well, no, I mean, in theory, I should have extracted it at the same time as the Combo Fiend, Combo Fiend one, but I just thought to myself, yeah, I'll do that later. I was literally going to do it right afterwards, and then it was only until literally about a week later because, well, you know, I've been doing some podcast, I've been doing the streaming for, like, Dead or Alive 5 and stuff.
Yeah.
Fair
play, well done, then.
And that I then thought, okay, I'm going to edit some people's podcast, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, where's my memory card gone? And it's like, oh, crap. And again, you know,
shame, man, because the Hado Shrooms, the last one he did with you, it was really good. Listen,
actually, do you know what the ironic thing was? It wasn't all that, because literally it was right after T-Sport and literally after I was streaming that £1 1 round thing in his bedroom, which finished at 3 in the morning. So, Return of the Sponge Cake actually wasn't all that.
You can't say that. What are you doing?
No, seriously.
You're supposed to just say, oh, it was great, but it's a lost hidden treasure now, you know.
Well, if I do find it eventually, I'll rebroadcast that. But in its memory, 24 is being kept until I find it one day. Yes, if you're listening to this episode, this is Christmas Day. And as said at some point in this podcast, you probably won't be watching it. So, literally, what are we doing right about now? So, right about now, I think I'm going to be at my mate's place in Essex. I normally spend essentially, like, it's always a retreat, because normally London just gets a little too much for me, and I normally spend Christmas around there, and I think we would be drunk or eating too much turkey. What would you be doing right about now then, Mike?
For Christmas?
Yeah.
Sunny beach, palm trees, Gibraltar holiday, Christmas special, though.
It's a bit nippy over here, but it's certainly no palm trees and cocktails. I usually just hang out with the family, really, and then whatever I do at night. Like, Christmas is a very, like, family-based thing, really, for me over here. And then New Year's is just kind of, like, with your mates and that, really. So, probably something to do with my family, I don't know. Just guessing.
Oh, okay, cool. Scott?
For me, it's definitely family, which means I'll be playing Guki Fafa on Marvel on Christmas Day.
What you want? You're going to be playing even Marvel on Christmas Day?
Put it this way, right? Me and Guki Fafa don't live together, so on Christmas Day, obviously with parents and brothers and sisters. So, after the initial sort of present rush, everybody unwrapping their gifts and everyone's chilling out, we always just say, do you want a game of Marvel, or do you want a game of whatever fighting game we were playing that year? And then we'll have a few games, shout at each other while having a few drinks. So it's always a top laugh. Before Christmas dinner gets put on the table.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah.
Okay, cool. And I guess we're gonna start the show. Yeah, the show from now on. No.
Hey, Mr. Churchill comes over here to say we're doing splendidly. But it's very cold out here in the snow, marching to and from the enemy. Oh, I say it's tough, I have had enough. Can you stop the cavalry?
Much editing later again. This is the People's Podcast, episode 25, the Christmas special. insert jingle now. Yeah, I'm just gonna put a load of all those annoying Christmas. Yeah.
No.
Yes. Yes. The Christmas special. You can't have a Christmas special without irritating Christmas songs. What have I got? We've got we gotta have Wham on there. We gotta have Slade.
Oh, I love Wham.
Yeah, we gotta have some Slade. We gotta have that stupid marching band song. I forgot what it was called. Oh. Yeah, that was it. Yeah. And then, like I said, this is the Christmas special. I'm General Skirmish, and I'm coming from the coldest, darkest regions of East London. And my guests today are Kaworu from Manchester. Is it cold up there?
Shabba. Yeah, it's cold.
And
It's like minus, what is it, like -3, -4? I think it was -7 at one point.
oh, bloody hell. And coming from the Rock, Gibraltar, we got MetallicMike.
It's a bit nippy. That's about it.
In Gibraltar?
That's about it. Just a bit.
Really?
It's not freezing or anything. I'm sorry, it sucks to be you guys, but yeah, it's totally cool.
Yeah. What are the perks about?
Palm trees and crystal clear sea beaches. That's
all at Christmas. All at Christmas.
Ah, cool. But like I said, so today's topic, we look back upon the year 2012 and what it meant for the UK FGC. So let's cast our mind back. Way back in January, was anything happening? London side, we had a couple of the Dragons running events. I think they were. We had a bit of KOF. I think they did a couple of sessions in the Orange Rooms. Anything happened down your way in January?
Tell you what, it was probably something along the lines of a Manchester Battle Arena or two, but
yeah.
nothing big, nothing major. I mean, like Dale's a pretty cool guy. I mean, Dale, there. It's about as much as I can remember from the Manchester Battle Arena, exactly.
I think Manchester had a bunch of events early on in the year. You know, every month or so, we had a Manchester Battle Arena, which ranges from anything from Tekken, Street Fighter, Marvel, you know, the usual games. But I can't remember any big events back in January.
Okay. The only really, really big event that happened early on in the year was obviously Hypespotting, which
yes,
I think quite possibly was actually the biggest event of this year.
I think not only was it the biggest, I went to most, although I did miss, you know, the most recent events, like, you know, I-47 and SVB. But
I was gonna say,
I went to a lot of tournaments.
Yeah,
a lot of tournaments this year, and Hypespotting was probably my favourite out of all of them, by a mile actually. Although, you know, there's a couple of others that were close, but just Hypespotting, there's something about it. I can't wait for the new one.
Oh yeah, for sure. Again, I'm going to probably save it for what we're looking for next year, but I'm looking inroads to head that direction. According to some numbers, yeah, it might have definitely been the biggest in terms of player. According to my man, Afro, it was 160 people, but including spectators and everything, it was actually a bit more. So,
Yeah, the room is pretty packed. Mike?
Yeah, I think the layout of the room, had it been changed a little, it would have facilitated, like, you know, a big sort of spectator crowd, but everyone was sort of huddled around places. So it didn't look that big, but the room was pretty big. So if you got everyone together, it would have just looked like fucking loads of people.
Some feng shui seating plans would have
Yeah,
worked out.
exactly. So next time, guys, just gotta get your interior design on.
The hype from, you know, the Scottish guys compared to like some of the other areas of the country as well. Even yourself, like I remember you versus Reinhardt in Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Yeah, there was that one part, wasn't it?
Trolling each other.
There was that one part at the end of the round where I thought, it's gonna be a timeout. Across a second. No, I'll just I don't know, backbreaker across the screen a couple of times, and everyone found that for some reason. I was like, okay.
Well, then directly after that match, and we got to the finals, and it was like Ryu Raven versus, you know, the same shit you see all the time.
What?
It was just
yeah. You know what? That pretty much set the tone for the entire game for like the next patch.
Yeah.
Like I that game after Hypespotting.
We got to a point in the room where all you could hear was golf claps. You know, just like, whoa.
God, more of this shit.
Like, when's Marvel? You know.
Well, actually, they did Marvel quite early on. They didn't save it to us like it should be.
Yeah.
Marvel should be when it's Marvel, man. You just gotta put it on last.
Most events are doing that, aren't they? Stick Marvel on as the last game. The sort of so people walk home with a nice taste in their mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
Some solid fireball wars.
Yeah.
No, but definitely, because I remember, just hearing from my man, Jamie, Mr. Giga D, that he reckoned it was the event. Well, especially for him since he won the damn event as well. So.
Yeah, the longest set though with Ryan Hart on King of Fighters. It went on forever.
Yeah, it was during release as well.
I remember just like nearly crying.
Like I remember the bracket was full of just people like rinsing like tactics that just no one knew how to deal with. Like probably Ryan and Giga D like knew the crack more than anyone else. But like you had Big Fool playing Shin, who only until like Evo was given like a lot of praise for being like this top 5 scat character that's like destroys everybody if you don't counter pick him. And then you got like Sprint with that lame team of King, Mai, and Athena, which is 5-balls. And you with your Yori frame traps and your Kenso shenanigans.
Heiko with his dual on, I thought was.
Yeah.
First time I played a dual on that knew what they were doing, and that cross up C and D thing on Wake Up, like it got me like every time I was.
Even Ryan though, like rinsing Clark ambiguous rolls, no one had seen that before.
Oh god. The Clark stuff, roll, and then either normal grab or BSAB, the one with the super armor. Just guessing right. He's really good at guessing players. That's the thing.
Yeah, that was probably one of my most memorable KOF tournaments, just because of like how quickly people were just like rinsing all the gimmicks and the broken stuff.
Okay, cool. After that, we're jumping way ahead. I think we're moving towards summer and. I was actually thinking about it because obviously I'm going to ask what you would say was your definitive event, and for me, I have to honestly say it was just pretty much every event outside London. Because for me, no, this ain't a person. No, do not misquote me, guys. Because for me, like I said, in 2000, all of 2011, I was in London. That was it. I stayed entirely in London. I went to all the Ultimate Clashes because literally they happened every month. I went to the London training grounds. I then went to one of those extra special events like the Ultimate Clash Extremes, and that was it because it was nice and.
So you travelled this year? Is that it?
Yeah, that was basically it. So literally, it was only the realization that, it was. Yeah, I think it was just proving ground that you go to a different venue where it's been run by a different set of people and the environment's different. I.e., people have got funny accents and stuff like that, which again really bugs me because obviously I've pretty much been stuck in the South. Yeah, literally the South because like I said, born and raised here, went to uni in Southampton. So I've literally have only occupied the lower half of the countries for most part of my life. So.
Well, I definitely saw way more skirmish in 2012 than any other year.
So that's the reason why my highlight for this year is literally every event I went to that was outside Londden because it was.
That's pretty cool because I didn't go to London this year. Oh.
What does that mean?
There was nothing going on there. Literally, that was just about it. I was actually gonna go for the 25th anniversary, and then it got changed. So, to be completely fair.
Well, technically, I know we're jumping ahead of ourselves. Yeah, that's a bit ironic because they did all those logos and stuff. It was like the 25th anniversary was advertised to be in London. You had the guy with you had Ryu with a bearskin, but yet Telford isn't in London.
Yeah, all the posters said London, so everyone, like the Americans on commentary, would assume, oh, he came from the qualifier in London. Like, why would
they think like any event before 2012, everything was in London. Any major event was in London.
Yeah.
It was only 2012 before like pretty much every area now established their own major events that they do, either 3 times a year or once a year.
I mean, there was a couple of things. I mean, there was the Marvel qualifier for Shadowloo Showdown. I think there was a Street Fighter 4 one as well, weren't there?
Oh, and the event, that was the... Yeah, that happened about the same time in spring and whatever, because that was the one that...
yes, I remember.
That's Zach Bennett and Don D.
Don D,
yeah.
That happened very early on, now that I remember, because I remember I had a lot of work for uni around then. So yes, I remember this now.
That's really, really good, though, stuff like that, sending players over to other countries that otherwise would not, someone like Zach, for instance, became pretty popular on the internet, like he is, as he is now, because he's playing such a unique team. So you read any Firebrand threads, and they're all linking his videos and what have you. Plus, he's such a great player, so it's nice to send out players. But now he's sponsored, I imagine he's just going to get sent everywhere anyway. Regardless.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, let's get out of the way. I mean, we'll eventually review each and every event, but okay. So
April. Did anything happen in April? I don't think it did. Did it?
No, again, because I think Proving Grounds was literally... Yeah.
Right, then, yes, Proving Grounds is the next one, because that happened in June, and I don't have anything here that was written down before June, so, okay, if you guys can't think of anything...
But yeah, it was a pretty... it was a pretty modest...
1, 2, and 3, surely.
Yeah, it was a pretty modest event, but the sort of disproportionate amount of hype, because obviously you had Big Four coming all the way from Scotland, and you had the Southwest being represented, and you had
Remember that this is Proving Grounds 2 we're talking about, right? Because there was Proving Grounds 1, which is his first attempt at a tournament, I think, or in Wales, or what have you. And I think TKO Super went there and won, like, a few things. That's pretty much all I remember. But then Proving Grounds 2, everyone went. Everyone saw, oh wow, this event's actually quite sick. Temp's doing a really good job. They got, good recording. They got good organization, timekeeping. They have a solid lineup. And before you
thing,
know
right? I've never been to a Proving Grounds, normally due to, the distance and also work-related stuff. But all I hear is really good things about Proving Grounds.
Oh yeah, no, for real.
As soon as, because like before I left UK, I wanted to have said, well, I've been to see every single scene, or the most. I think the only ones I didn't go to in the end were like Birmingham, and if there's anything else, actually I can't think off the top of my head. So yeah, Birmingham and some other places. But like I fit that in by doing it at the end of my uni term. And I just I packed up all my stuff. I took it with me. I stayed at Raised by Finch's house. Cool guy. Shout outs to him. And then as soon as I finished that, I just went straight home. I flew home from London. Gatwick. That was pretty fun. But as soon as they started Proving Grounds 2, I was like, I know I want to go to this, because it was the last thing. I did tell them that I was going to go down to Bristol/Wales at some point for just to play them at Sodium Showdown or whatever. But Proving Grounds was a lot better. It was a lot cheaper and a lot more convenient. So yeah.
Okay.
Enjoyed my stay there.
Okay, gotcha. There were a couple of events coming on in London at this point. I think there was the Ultimate Clash Revival. They paired up with the Anime Con, and I streamed that, and that actually chronologically was actually around around February time.
Didn't the answer come for KOF because it was?
Oh yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, he certainly did, and we're gonna get. I don't know about you, but it was already foreshadowing, because let's face it, the answer is a good player, but he is. At
the time, he was a top 2 player. Right now, he's a top 8 player. So, in America, he kind of fell off.
Fair dues. Yeah, fair dues. But let's be honest, he just mollywopped all of us.
Yes.
And it kind of was foreshadowing. I mean, we'll probably save that to when we get to autumn, because we could definitely say that was a darker time when, the other Americans and the Japanese arrived. Much editing later. Anyway, so yeah. So yeah, we had some ultimate clashes early on in the year where the answer arrived, and okay, that's why he's called the answer. Okay, enough said.
All right then, but yeah, I heard it was pretty dominant anyway. So aside from that,
okay then, but and then oh yes, we had versus fighting 2, the Midlands.
Oh yeah.
That was a nice event. I think I even said it at the time. That was probably the most cleanest, literally greenest venue I've ever seen. It was literally green. It was like that Applejack sort of green. It was like, I think I was even saying that to somebody. I was thinking, wow, this venue's really green.
It was really cool. Some of the setups were great. They had the Age of Tekken thing, Tekken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that was before obviously replay, which was in the middle of the year. Some of the guys that were setting up replay came and brought some stuff over. Dave. So obviously people to try out versus fighting too. I think there was a couple of problems, wasn't there, with some of the PS3s and.
Oh, yep. But... It's because, and we now know the answer for that because Birmingham is a Tekken city. So, and as we all know, yep, they all have PS3s. They're all on that PS3s, and that's great if you play Tekken, but not so great if you're an AE player. And yeah, I just remember
not so great if you play Marvel either. Like Marvel's way worse on PS3. Like it actually has like technical difficulties rendering out when like a lot of stuff is happening on screen.
Yeah, it's true.
Like I was in Top Cut. And the setup we used for that was fine. There was no lag at all. I thought.
Yeah,
I don't know whether it was like certain PS3s or settings or something like that.
I don't know, but like if you play it safe and just do training mode stage or whatever, you might avoid a lot of it. But like it does get a bit easy. Like when there's a lot of shit on screen, PS3
and
just
that game has a lot of shit on the screen.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like.
But is having a bit of lag sometimes worse than having no sound altogether? That was prevalent another event in the year.
Ooh, that's another.
We can get onto that later.
We'll get onto that,
guys want to finish off versus fighting?
But yeah, my impressions of versus fighting, besides that rather memorable bit where all of us Londoners ended up having to go home at 4 in the morning and sort of chip in for like a really oversized minibus to take us back. But yeah, it was a pretty great event. No damn shame we kind of got stranded and had to do that. But yeah, it was definitely.
I really enjoyed it. Plus, I think Birmingham's got one of the best communities in the entire country in terms of how people get on and welcome new people and bring people into their sort of there's no cliques or egos with the Birmingham guys. That's what I really like the most. And they travel to a lot of our events.
And segregate themselves from the rest of the FGC, I take it.
Well, I mean, different political reasons I'm not too sure of. I know bits, but people have differences, don't they? And sometimes you just want something of your own. And I'll be honest, there's been more than one occasion when people in Manchester have said, "Can't we just split off and create our own forum?" I'm sick of some of the people that are out there, and to be fair, a lot of people are dickheads. So, but that's why certain areas of the country get a name for themselves as bell ends, and not aiming at anyone in specific or any area, because every area has people who are good as well as bad. But sometimes those people who are dickheads sort of ruin it for everybody. But I can understand why the Birmingham guys do their own thing. But
I can understand it. But,
every event I've been to of theirs and every been to ours they've always been fantastic. So not a bad word to say about it.
Yeah, for sure. The professionalism was because for one thing, you had pre-registered sign up. So yeah, you could go onto their website, you click PayPal, whatever, and voila.
Hey, they had a stream, man. Like not a lot of people stream in the UK. They have a stream. I mean. At some point during the year, Ying started streaming Manchester events, so that's just one more added to the list. But
Gin on commentary is amazing.
Oh yeah, that was it.
Birmingham's hype man.
Oh yeah, that's it. And obviously we can't just leave out. Yeah, we had a couple of Manchester battle arenas. I think I went to one of them, and yeah, it was mighty decent.
Shouts to Ying Kitmar. Yeah, he runs all of our Manchester Battle Arena events with help from people like Bakley and Esmond Fong and other Manc regulars who sort out brackets and things like that, sprint and what have you. But yeah, it's definitely Ying's the one that pushes a lot of the events, sorts out the dates, and just tries to. We've got ones coming up as well. So
yeah, I liked the one that was the biggest. Was the first one you streamed where Dark Shadow and Bebop went up for that.
Bebop, yeah.
Yeah, the Marvel one.
That was great.
Like, I found that. Yeah, that was great. That was the first tournament like a bum spot on one. So it was just like one for the crew.
God.
Screw you, Scott.
Plus in the last match, I couldn't believe it. I get a happy birthday, and I tried to do an OTG on Iron Fist and Wolverine, and it did. And Iron Fist fell out. Like it should have worked, and I went and checked it on my computer when I got home, and it was if you do with Nova 6C, which is the slam, the OTG slam, and then press S, Iron Fist's hitbox is slightly different, so the timing can be off. and he'll fall out, but it'll hit Wolverine. And he fell out, and I was so gutted. Like, that was the match. Once Wolverine was dead and Iron Fist was dead, it would only be Dormammu. But what do you do? You live and learn, don't you?
Ooh, I really, really want to move forward to EGL because we got a lot to talk about EGL, don't we?
Wait, hold on. Let's be fair. Let's just double check. Okay, there was that one NBA that I went down that Wursky streamed. That was pretty cool because I was there.
Yeah, that.
This is going a bit back in time because we already said this NBA and Proving Grounds, and but yeah, I just wanna give shout outs to Dale because that guy made that entire day for me.
Dale.
Crazy guy. Anyway, EGL. That was pretty cool.
Oh, that was again because yeah, I've been to Manchester before because, like I said, I went to the Manchester Battle Arenas and actually let's get this out of the way because I forgot to mention it. Yeah, your gamer base definitely destroys ours. It's just a lot nicer. It's even laid out.
I think, but it's not just like the layout. I think it's the staff and I think it's the way they manage it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Because any venue like Game of. But I've not seen the one in Trocadero. I think I went past it. Is it in Trocadero? Yeah.
It's in Trocadero, yes.
It's quite small, isn't it?
It's the size of a broom cupboard, pretty much. It's tiny. Yeah, it's not really adequate for what we need to do. I mean, even your regular gamer base. Because I thought, when I first arrived to the Manchester Battle Arena, I just arrived at what you would call the regular place. I thought, oh wow, this is pretty nice. But I don't see anybody here. So then it's like, when I asked the staff, isn't there a tournament going? It's like, oh, no, this is the wrong place. Go past that fireworks. I was like blown away. I thought, what the hell? You could run regionals in that area, in that particular spot I went to. Damn.
But I do, man. I ran a whole 4 seasons of ranking battles for different games. KOF, Soul Calibur, Marvel, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, Street Fighter 4. I ran loads of stuff just in there. In 2012, just to give people something to play every other week, rather than just waiting for the big NBA events once a month or once every month and a half. So yeah, I mean, Game Base is always great for that kind of thing. You can just run impromptu tournaments. We run a lot of gimmicky tournaments as well for fun, just to keep the interest. I like random selects and stuff.
Yeah, I like the tournament you do for movies.
Oh,
I always wish that I always wish that I could have been around for one of those, but it was always going to new work or whatever. But it's a bit of a shame.
In case anybody doesn't know what it is, whenever a big Marvel movie comes out or a DC movie, we run a tournament where you have to use that character in that game. So I think the first one we did was, I can't remember, was it Thor? I think it was Thor. And then obviously it was vanilla. Everyone has to pick Thor, but it was really good because people were trying to find teams that really benefited Thor. So I actually won that with Shenko and Thor. Thor's got a pretty good tri jump, but because it's slow, it's kind of easy to avoid him. But if you've got Shenko already. Yeah, no, it's such a sick team. But the events are great. And then people after Gamer Base, because it shuts at 5 on a Sunday, always go to see the film afterwards as well.
Again, I think you remember. It was like I was just blown away by the fact that it ended at 5 p.m. It's like, well, in all honesty, tournaments mostly start at 5 p.m. They don't end.
Yeah. Well, we often start a lot of our events. If they're on a Sunday, we'll start them anywhere between 12 and 1. But if it's a bigger event, we have to do it on a Saturday just because it shuts then at 7 rather than 5. But even 90% of the events we've ran have end time.
Oh yeah, man, it's
But everyone wants to do more comic book movie tournaments. They're the best. Like when we did the Green Lantern one and we played Mortal Kombat versus DC and everyone had to pick Green Lantern and it was the best.
Okay, that's kind of random, but yeah. And there was this event called Yorkshire Carnage.
So this is very early on, and I was very heavily into the organizational aspects of it.
Yeah, but the guy has fucking optimism, didn't he? What was all that about the prize pots, man? What was he thinking? The money?
Right. Okay. Here's the thing. After reading, it seemed a bit too good to be true, didn't it? Right? When you read the details
how much was he giving out to first, second, and third in all games?
200, 150 or something like that. For Blaze Blue, and I thought, I thought, Jesus Christ.
Oh my days, bloody hell!
Yeah, this guy must be.
I won 50 quid in Tekken. I won 50 quid in Tekken on that game. That was terrible. Like, I was just taking home free money. Like that, 50 quid paid for my train ticket and everything. This guy was just handing money out, basically.
Yeah, so this guy, anyway, I kind of started to notice, there's a lot of people signing up for this, and there's not a lot of details as to who this dude is or whatever. So I started to PM him on Neo Empire, and then I got his email address, and I started to exchange emails with him. And it became quite apparent to me that he was severely underestimating timekeeping, the amount of interests, the money. Like, I'm pretty sure he wanted to make a profit off of that, which he didn't, by the way. Severely.
Of course he didn't. Like the entry, right? Put it this way: he was giving away what 200 quid for first place and
exactly
quid, whatever, 50 quid for second and third. But how much was he charging for entry? It was like fuck all, man. It was how much was that? I can't remember. It's like a few quid.
Nothing. Basically.
How are you? That doesn't even make sense. Like, even if you get 100 players per game, you only barely break even on the amount he's charging for entry.
It was definitely still significantly more than tournament part. He wasn't doing the tournament part stuff. He was just keeping the tournament entry fee, which other organizers might have done. Higher venue fee, and then made the part tournament entry or whatever. The standard stuff. But another thing he kind of exchanged with me was the logistics of how much consoles he had and what he was going to do for the timekeeping and whatever. And it just I was like, no, this isn't working. What are you crazy?
This guy had absolutely no experience with the FGC then.
Yeah, none. I'm not sure if he's listening to this or not at some point, but just so he knows, he did come to T Sports. Good lads.
Fair play to him, man. He ran an event,
Yeah, he ran an event. That's totally cool. But he was if you're listening to this, he knows full well a lot of mistakes were made. That he was a bit ignorant as to how long this stuff takes. The resources you actually need, and he didn't have a lot of it. I had to take down my monitor, which was lagless and whatnot. There was no guarantee on whether or not there was even going to be a lagless setup over there. Yeah. So I thought, take down my monitor. Take down my console. I had Will bring down his console. I had Clangers bring down his console. I had Sean bring down his console. I had all of us bring our game discs because he didn't even have enough game discs. And basically, I helped contribute to that event just because I knew if I didn't, it would have probably been even worse. And to top it all off, for Street Fighter 4, I'm not sure. I kept telling him to run straight double E-limit. It will be really quick. But I don't know, he took someone else's advice, and it ended up being round robin groups.
Oh, dearly me.
It went on forever, didn't it? It ran so late, didn't it?
Eight people. The only tournament that went fluidly that day was BlazBlue because he did straight double elim, and that was it kept it going. It was pretty fast. But he did best of 3 Street Fighter 4 in round robin groups of 8. And I was like, that doesn't work. But no one listened to me, and I was just like, this doesn't work, surely. Straight double elim. I kept saying it. No one listened to me. They just did it anyway. The staff were incompetent.
And it ran really late. And it was snowing as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, dude. I'll get to that in a second. The staff were so incompetent. They weren't even fighting game players or anything. They didn't know what the fuck they were doing. So I was arguing with them constantly, and they wouldn't listen to me. And it was just really annoying that I'd contribute so much to try and save the event, and it didn't really quite work out.
It was obvious when I got there, the people sorting out the brackets and people sorting out calling out matches, and the guy running the whole thing that A, never done this before, and B, never really been to other events that have done it for them to get an idea of what needs to be done.
Exactly, and the staff, I remember saying, give me the playlist, I will seed the bracket for you. I know practically everyone on this list. And one of the staff members that doesn't play fighting games or whatever told me, seeding, that's unfair.
What? what are you cheating for, Mike? Calling out your friends' names to play each other?
Yeah, it's I was just I ended up in a best of in one of those round robin groups with 5 people from T-side, And I was just like, why? Why are we doing this? Like, you know, once said and done, the event got through somehow, some way. Everyone was paid out.
My favorite tournament in that whole day was the Dead or Alive one. That was awesome.
It would have been, wouldn't it?
People were just shouting stuff like "Watch out for the cars," on the car stage. And it was so jumble off the car. He was so sick.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, it was snowing, and we'd brought quite a lot of gear down, like I told you before, and it was weighing Will's car down quite a lot. And the road had iced over where we parked, and he couldn't actually drive out of that road. So
there was a load of players as well that were checking trains because trains were being cancelled due to how heavy the snow was.
Yeah,
so
a lot of people had to leave early, so a lot of people
got buys in later matches and shit like that.
They took the systems away, which added more to the problem. There was no food could eat or drink because all the facilities are closed down. There was no way to get downstairs anymore. You couldn't go to the toilet. It was fucking terrible.
What? You what?
Yeah, I think so. Trust me. Like when it got late, things started to get hectic. And
because the center downstairs closes, but the only place that was open was literally the area that we were in.
Yeah, and anyway, like once that was all said and done, because we couldn't get home, me, Will, and Rob, we actually had to, because there was no more trains left that day, we had to get to the ETAPS hotel, and we stayed a night there. Will went on his own in his car, because without all of us on our gear weighing down on his car, he could get off the road, basically. And we all took the train.
But that shows you when someone's just looked at a fighting game community and gone, right, I can run an event here, and it's not gone well. It's the snowball effect, to excuse the pun. It went out of control, and it just affected thing and caused a lot of problems.
So much went wrong. He's doing another tournament this weekend, actually.
Yeah, I'm going to it. Is it like NXT? It's going to be on Saturday.
So hopefully that goes well for him. It seems to be okay. He's not expecting a high turn.
Well, he's not running 6 games or whatever it was like last time in a single day. So
yeah, exactly. So hopefully all goes well.
I know we're going to say this much later, but apparently, the Willow said that he wanted to make sure that T-Sport didn't end up like that. So yeah, well, obviously we'll discuss that later, which we already did.
But that's good, isn't it? That's people who go to events and learn from their mistakes and improve on it.
Let's move on to EGL.
Oh,
the unofficial Manchester.
Yes. We'll save one of my main highlights, the so-called North v South, which didn't happen, but in proxy it did.
Yeah, but it's Marvel, isn't it? So it's like anything could happen if we did 10. Yeah, fair play. I'm not going to argue that they all got like top 8 or whatever, and we didn't. That's you can't argue that. Yeah, but it's Marvel, isn't it? Everything's totally different in a match. Guki Fafa recently went to I-47.
Yeah, I know. Which I'll be way ahead of myself.
But he beat loads of London players, so it doesn't matter what happens in one set of scores.
Right.
You don't
Let
know
me just say this. I heard that he was winning a match and someone took a game because his stick broke. Wasn't that how he got out of the tournament?
Yeah, that used to happen a lot to him because his stick he's had for years is sort of dying.
I know it is his fault, but man, you know what I mean?
But it's that thing, when something's been faithful for so many years, you find it hard to let it go. Even if it goes wrong once, you think, is that a one-off? And then it happens again.
Yeah. Oh, damn, I would have thought your brother Matt still, shared your love of, buying loads of expensive sticks. So surely he had more than one.
Oh,
No. Okay.
No. But he spends his money on other things. Just pure disposable income, don't worry about it.
Okay. Okay, but anyway, AGL, I think that was one of the first events I actually stayed overnight, because normally when I travel I just go for the day and whatever, but because it was a 2-day event and what have you, it was just pretty sick. And obviously they teamed up with the replay thing, so you had all that retro stuff. I mean,
well, replay is good anyway. regardless of any fighting game tournament. And Electronic Dojo used to run the tournaments at Replay events, for the last few years. And they did run some events as well as EGL. So you had two lots of tournaments going on from two sets of guys.
Which is cool because they put like Street Fighter on the day that wasn't Street Fighter for EGL. And it didn't really clash. So it's like, yeah, that's cool.
I like that. Yeah. And if people want to go into full details, if you check out my Podbeam account, because I've just moved back to YouTube, which
good. That is good. I like that.
Not so, because that means you have to be stuck at a computer for like 2 hours.
Not really. You can download stuff right off of YouTube pages if you know how to do it.
That would take a bloody long time considering how long the file.
No. You can get like programs that do it. You just type in the URL. It gives you like whatever file you want.
Okay, cool enough. But like I said, if people want to go into more depth, I did do an EGL special, so there are 4 episodes on them. So you'll definitely find something you like. We had the Marvel Mans, the AE Mans, which oddly enough is the shortest one I've ever done. So I'll have to.
You thought I was Neville Bamshoe?
Yeah, that too.
Never gonna let that go.
Yeah, that too. No.
I've met you twice before, and you thought I was Neville. Honestly, man, like.
He thought Shuffle was Kane as well.
That's an easy mistake to make.
No, in all honesty,
I've made that mistake. I've made that mistake.
Promiscuous, flamboyant, pretty boys.
Yeah.
No, seriously, if you put them both together, they look scarily similar.
They do look alike.
Totally agree.
They are handsome men.
They are. It's a proper double take, and it was like literally a guy was looking at me funny saying, "Oh, sorry, you're."
Kane, man, Queen of the North.
Oh, yeah. yeah, shout out to Kane. but yeah, EGL. And what? Do you know what the disturbing thing was? It was not as. I think it was definitely by far the biggest Marvel gathering because it had 60 people in there, and.
Wait, I 46. I had quite a lot as well. Was it 60 straight Marvel? You sure?
Yeah. Well,
I know I-46 had about 40 or something, 50.
Like, it was one of the few tournaments that had more entrants than Street Fighter 4 this
year.
Yeah,
I just confirmed. Yeah, I just confirmed on Twitter. I just asked James, and apparently, that really baffled me. I thought EGL might have been one of the biggest.
We pimped it out so much, like on Twitter and everywhere. Really, like everyone made it out for that, and I felt a little, I don't know, disappointed in myself that like I played like I should have just gone straight to like the team I want to work on rather than like slowly move to it. Like for Marvel, I wanted to work on Virgil, Dante, Strider, but I thought, nah, it's going to take too much time. I'll just put Magneto and rinse 50-50s or something. Like, and I tried it out in Portugal, who by the way, like, 3 of their players want to come to Hypespotting next year. So far, I've told them they're thinking of coming. It's totally cool. Shouts to you guys. But yeah, I tried it out in Portugal, and I thought, this is alright. I could get by at EGL. No, I fucking did terrible at EGL.
I think there's a few things wrong with EGL. I mean, obviously, I appreciate any events that get ran because the amount of time and effort people have to put in with no pay. They don't get paid for this. Some of the people who are helping set up these events. So I totally appreciate it. But having no sound on some of the setups, and then also the problem of, I thought the seeding was terrible. I thought there was like, some people were seeded if they registered, and some people weren't seeded if they registered after a certain date, and then some people just weren't seeded at all. Like, even though it made sense to seed someone like myself and one of Miles, I have to play him straight away. It just seemed ridiculous. I see 2 people who never really even played the game before playing each other. And I'm playing one of Miles.
Big Lee made it like 3 games and winners, like
exactly
on a very easy side of the bracket, and I was just like, what? How did you get this?
But that's the thing, man. I think, and I said that to Worski ever, and he said, he said he'll look at it, and he's sorry for next time they realized that some people were pissed off with the way it was seeded, but the way it wasn't seeded, I guess. But these things are never perfect with any event runs perfectly.
Okay. Actually, unfortunately, I lost my number. Yeah, I was just about to say, Street Fighter only had about 47 entrants, which really surprised me because
That's because the game is shit and it's down. I said it. I appreciate the game. I appreciate the footsies. I appreciate the level of knowledge you need to be good at that game and the reactions, and I appreciate all of that, but it just feels now stagnant, like it's the same thing all the time.
Everything's been like broken down. I think it's really slow. I definitely think that I can't get away with everything I want to get away with in in that game because like in KOF, man, you can just jump around and just go like crazy on offense, and like it doesn't matter. Like I don't have to worry about people mashing like DPs or whatever. Or like in Marvel, I can just like well,
that's the thing. I think viewers, the viewer count for events and tournaments and also streams show that the more entertaining the game is, the more views it gets. Obviously, it makes sense. But so something like Marvel had way more viewers than everything else. Like every event I've been to this year, like Marvel was the game that everyone was getting around to watch and getting hyped for and shouting at the screen and fucking letting their lungs roar. Like Street Fighter 4 hardly ever did that. Like I don't know.
Gotcha.
Well, at least in 2012.
Gotcha. No, but the funny thing is, you say that, Scott, but as you know, all our sponsored players, they're sponsored to play pretty much, well, AE, isn't it?
It's a big game, like, to
Well, AE
play.
is everywhere. AE is at every major event, like, guaranteed.
Exactly. Like, I think this year, or next year, or rather in 2013, I think they're going to push Cross Tekken a lot, because they don't want it to die, like, as a game. That's why they keep updating it and stuff. I don't want it to die. I quite like it. I hated it with the jab pressure, but that's gone, and ever since it was gone, I liked it again. And now,
the thing
like,
is, it left such a bad taste in people's mouths, despite the fact that they might fix everything. People
the
don't
hive mind takes over, and then everyone thinks that it's a terrible game. I think you guys should try it out. 2013, it's not a bad game. Please. I have slated it like once upon a time, but the jab pressure was gone, and I liked it again.
We ran ranking battles for it in Manchester, and we got solid turnouts, and people were enjoying it. They just enjoy it when they had to go across, umpteen Ryu Rolento teams. It's like people were enjoying attacking characters and the unique. We're gonna
stop. Let's carry on talking about UGL. I don't want to.
Well, actually, I think we're now going to move on to the 2i series. Obviously.
I haven't even said like what I wanted to say in UGL.
Oh, okay. Bring it on, man. Bring it on. Let it out. All
right. Okay. Cool. I didn't like the venue. That's it. Let's go. Let's move on.
What didn't you like about the venue?
What did you like about it? I thought it was fine.
Like I wasn't comfortable at it. Like there was nowhere to sit down. And like...
all right, so it was sort of.
Oh, actually, you know what? Fair dues. I do remember the seat issue because I even made a point of that on my little mobile podcast. Yeah, there was a.
I like that I had like a view of other games, like see into their scenes, and like like it was just quite interesting.
That was kind of off-putting, because you were kind of thinking.
Oh, it was funny. I remember seeing like variations.
I think it was off-putting.
Yeah, remember when we saw like Call of Duty Cheech Wizard and Call of Duty and stuff? It was hilarious. But yeah, like that was cool.
The
but,
seats
like,
were shit. They were just little stools, but with the amount of people in there, I imagine.
Yeah, the seats were bad. The location to get to, I didn't quite like, and
it's because it wasn't a sole fighting game event. It was
the food there, not big fan like of what they were selling, and just generally like we were. I don't know if you consider where we were on the grand scheme of things. We were on a couple of tea tables with curtains put on them. And just monitors and consoles, really. Like when you consider the grand scheme of things,
you didn't like the fact that we weren't center stage. We were just a tiny part of it.
Yeah, like they're just like throwing a couple of tables together and some cables and some.
I understand. I understand because
it didn't seem like we didn't get a stage. We didn't get like.
I think that is a key thing. Like I really like it when events run like a big one-off stage or a projector or something. This was just one of the monitors, and then you've got everyone crowding around this tiny monitor, and it doesn't feel a spectacle. It doesn't feel like a.
Yeah, it didn't really feel like an FGC event to me. It was a good tournament. The tournaments were fine aside from the sound, but I wasn't comfortable. Like I didn't enjoy being there that much, really. I enjoyed being back in the UK and talking to everyone, and that's totally cool. I didn't really enjoy the venue. That's that's about it. Now we can move on. I've said what I needed to say.
Okay, and now we move on to the I series. Oh yeah, the quite ambitious one where they were running 13 games.
Oh my God, do you remember? I went for all of that from. You
didn't go for all of that because you didn't enter Skullgirl, so you went to nearly all of that.
No, I went for the whole event, but I didn't enter everything. I think there's only two games I didn't enter, and that was Skullgirls and Mortal Kombat. I entered everything else. I was in it literally every single tournament except those two. Skullgirls only had a 4-player turnout anyway, so I would have fucked up the brackets regardless. But no, I mean they knew that they shouldn't have ran that many tournaments as they were doing it because everything was running late, and the staff weren't, the Dragons weren't getting any sleep as well because they had to be up first thing to set everything up and be the last ones home because they're the ones running all the tournaments. So it was just that was a moment of madness to run 13 tournaments in a weekend. But overall, the event was good, so it was. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. The Marvel aspect of it had really good turnout of players, and I had a lot of rivalry between sort of north and south, which was
great. Good location and venue as well. Like if it was the same as I-47, you had seating, you had a small. I'm not sure if you had a small stage or you had like a partition where. Well, what was the stage setup?
To be honest, from looking at the pictures, I'm not sure if it was in the same area, but it was definitely a good layout. And the way the Dragons set up the sort of the finals setup was great. You had the people sat behind the giant monitors. You had 2 big monitors and a big seating plan as well. So it was like, what we said that EGL lacked, which was a proper finals segment.
Like a spectator,
spectator area. I-46 definitely had that. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah. That's cool.
And now finally we're on to the autumn section, and it takes us
T-Sports.
Oh, you have to ruin my introduction. Okay. Yes, there was this event in the Northeast. It was called T-Sports.
T-Sports was sick, Blad.
Thanks.
It was literally filled with tea as well. Like it was in a Chinese community center. One of the coolest things. You get in there, and they just say, "Oh, and you know what, guys? There's free tea,
tea and coffee and biscuits,
water and biscuits." I was are you kidding?
Well, guess what? It wasn't just. We're not talking bloody stupid styrofoam. We're actually talking China sets of teas with saucepans. It was the most surreal thing ever. When I think I was watching you.
Did you get some as well, Skirmish? Because I know you came a bit late, and by that point you might have run out.
No, there was plenty of tea left. I don't know if they refilled it. I just went to the side. I thought, oh wow,
they worked their asses off to refill that tea for people like Skirmish.
Jesus. I mean, if anything, I do get that like coffee and tea is actually quite cheap to get. I mean, like if you ever go to an event, coffe's like a quid.
Don't downplay the tea. It was free
tea.
The tea.
I know, dude. I loved it myself.
Tea at Hypespotting. Free tea sports.
No, and like I said, not just normal tea. Tea with a bloody saucepan. It was the most surreal thing ever. I was watching. I don't know if I was watching you, Michael, or I might have been watching Gogi Fafa, but I was just watching a match and I had my little saucepan out and I was just sipping tea and I thought, oh wow, this is kind of cool.
This is really, it was kind of funny how, let me just say from an organizational perspective, like it was kind of funny how we worked our way up to like that point because we ran a few smaller events between me and.
Yeah, it was going to be at another venue, wasn't it?
It was going to be at the university. It was essentially just going to be the university commons room, wasn't it?
Yeah. There's a games lounge like in one of the university buildings where the Northeast scene congregates on Saturdays, and we just play fighting games basically. And last year, while I was at uni, once every 3 or 2 months, I'd just throw a tournament and would get 20 odd people entrance per tournament or whatever. It was pretty cool. Like we recorded it, commentary, put it on a YouTube channel, and it was pretty fun. And like the last one, Ollie and Big Lee and was it? No, not Sprint. He came
I used to watch the videos. It was always you and RoboDuck in the KOF finals, like every time.
Every time it was me versus him, and I never got the. Anyway, I was putting a lot of time in the KOF back then, so I was quite disappointed every time. God damn you, Chris. But yeah, and then we were just gonna have it like another one, and then Sean Meb, who was gonna organize it at the time, posted a thread on Neo Empire, which I'd never done before. I'd never actually posted threads about my small tournaments because the games lounge is pretty tiny, and I actually didn't really want it to transcend a local. Like I just wanted people from the area to turn up, and that's about it, pretty much. Like, because we couldn't handle anything else. And then suddenly, you started talking about, getting some of the Manx down.
Yeah. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, I'm gonna push this.
And I've never been to the Northeast, and I thought, I want to check out Newcastle.
Exactly. Skirmish said he was coming, and obviously, like, Hadis Rooms and everyone in Newcastle were going to come anyway, as they always do and always have.
Well, that's
and,
the thing. Like,
we had
T-side guys came to some of our events, so it's like we need to repay the favor.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool. Like, and then like Scotland as well, some Scottish players. And I was because obviously, you know, we know them now. You know, shouts to David and Heiko, and what was it? The other dudes, Paladin and crap. I may have forgotten another guy. Sorry, bad with remembering and stuff right now. And then Giga D and stuff. I was just like, what? Like, you know, all these people. And then suddenly, you know, we needed a change in venue. It's like, no way, we're gonna fit these people in here. It was like, no way. And Willow his mum happened to like partly own or something, like the Chinese Community Center in Middlesbrough. And we sort of went there, and like it had a little stage area. You know, it was a bit Chinese.
It's so good. The whole venue is so good. Like,
yes,
it's
for sure.
such a find. Like, such a good find.
It looks, you know, it looks like a Chinese community center. It's got, you know, some red little Chinese.
I'm not gonna lie. I've had some very horrible bad memories with those places because as a kid they kind of traumatized me. Which I'll say
dude,
for it.
Dude, you are Chinese though, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
All right,
but
well,
I could totally see why. I could totally see why, because I went there to check out the venue with Will and Sean, and it kind of looked a bit like crap. They have these kids here like every day. I was just like, this has got to traumatize them. They're just playing ping pong and doing maths. Honestly, I'm not joking. There was a ping pong after party, like after T Sports, where everyone just like rinsed ping pong in the venue once like they were closing up. Like, because they're just there. And I was just like, oh my god, they're training them early. You know what I mean? So I could totally see that. It was quite funny you said it.
Okay. No, it's for other reasons. I'll probably save it for a future podcast, maybe episode number 60. But anyway. But, yeah. Oh, crap, I've lost my train of thought. What was I going to say?
I'll carry on saying, basically, we upgraded to that.
Oh, yeah.
And they gave us a discount on the venue fee, which allowed us to make a small profit, which we can put back into the next T-Sports.
I was wondering that, like, because you guys didn't charge much at all, you know, for entry for the tournament games.
Yeah, we didn't think that it was gonna be big, so then we kind of shot ourselves in the foot. Where like we should have probably like raised the price to match the interest, like so that obviously we could pay out to the players a bit more with the pot.
Yeah, you had about 50 plus people. I kind of remember the words. I probably might have to edit this out later, but apparently when I was driving around with Willow looking for that crucial part that finally connected the sound from my stream setup.
Thank God you did that. Thank you so much. Like that was.
Bruv, that was nothing. It was just simple, and yeah, and plus that's the first time for me because I've never hooked anything up to XLR. So, but it was like again, I'll probably have to edit this bit out. But yeah, it was kind of funny. But essentially, Willow saying, "What? Yeah, we definitely don't want this to turn into Yorkshire Carnage." Apparently, that was an awful event.
So we upgraded the venue and whatnot, and then on the day. It seemed like it was all going quite well. Like people started coming in. A few sign-ups dropped off here and there. It's totally fine. Like the sound issue, I got you guys on it and you did your thing. And that was totally cool. All in all, the tournament went great up until the point where Sean accidentally got put on the spot and said that Tekken Finals should be best of 5.
I was the one who asked him as well. I was like,
you idiot, man.
Wait, what would you? what do you want? No, but I asked. I went to use the text.
I know. He got put on the spot.
And he looked at someone and just went, best of 5. I went,
yeah.
You're the boss.
I think he forgot that Tekken is a best of 5 round game. And that was kind of like, yeah. So that kind of killed the timing of it, which meant that we couldn't have best of 5.
But to be honest, I think if you cut one game off, I think it still would have been close. Yeah.
We still did fine for time, but we couldn't run top 4 for the other games. We did like the loser semis off stream, and we just ran top 3 for every game, which is fine because we did top 3.
Like your match on Marvel with Spartan Throne that I missed. I wanted to watch that.
I think. Oh no one recorded it. That was me.
I was busy picking.
Nothing. I lost. There wasn't really much to it. I got my revenge at I-47 and I beat him there. So 1 for 1. Okay, I'm coming for you. Not you, sheep. I beat you and you haven't beaten me. Stay free.
Okay. My recollections of T-Sports are a little bit different because obviously I was originally just gonna loan you down the recording equipment, and I had a really weird journey. It's like my my damn little fold-up bike, which is super reliable, had a puncture, and I thought, why is this bloody happening now? Right when I'm about to catch the damn train, I thought, okay, I quickly managed to fix it. I'm going, and then I get another puncture, and it was like, yeah, I thought, okay, I'm done for. I'm going to miss the train because there's no way in hell I could either drag my bike to the station or fix the second puncture. So, yeah, that's the point at which I called you and said I was going to be running.
You got a free train though. In the end.
Yeah, I managed to blag them saying, yeah, I had the technical difficulties. The guy looked at my hand and thought, yeah, I believe you. Because obviously my hands were mucky as hell from fixing the second puncture, which again.
Yeah.
So.
That's all right.
I did. So, yeah, I managed to, but it was what happened afterwards because I have to admit my geography is bad. I actually kind of thought Middlesbrough and Newcastle were like nearby. They were like practically next door.
They are sort of like if you live there and commute between the two regularly, it does kind of feel like they're quite close, but they're not really.
Yeah, I know because basically I wanted to stay at Haddo Shroom's house and yeah, obviously in the magical woods of Bladen.
He actually lives in woods. People don't actually live in the forest until you go there.
Yeah, I can actually say this now because I did actually talk a lot about it on that missing podcast. But yeah, he does genuinely live in a forest. It proper freaked me out. It was like, it's like literally I'm losing my power of speech and communication. It was like, you go into his front garden. It's like, are those logs of wood? And they said, yeah. And I thought, what'd you need that for? And then you go inside his house. He actually has a freaking fireplace. And my jaw was on the floor. My jaw was on the floor because I've never seen an actual fireplace in my life. An actual functioning one. Because you got those fireplaces, in London, but they put that electric bar rubbish in it, or it's just an ornamentation. But it was an actual functioning fireplace. It was like the guy was just literally
gotta survive Winterfell, man. Winter's coming, it's cold. You gotta warm up.
I was blowing up. It was like he just got some logs, he just shoved it in, and it was like lighting up, and it was like a nice little glowy, and it was like, oh man, that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we went to not Scott. You had to go home and get your train. Sucks to be you.
Yeah, I got you.
But that was one of the obviously the fact that it ran a little bit late.
Yeah.
So we missed out on going for food with you guys. There's a few of us
Sorry about that, but a lot of us still made it. It was
no, man. But if that's the worst thing that happened all day, then it was a fantastic event. Mate.
In all honesty, if an event finishes at 9 p.m., that is already one of the best tournaments in my event because normally.
Yeah, that was probably the only bad thing really is that we knew we would probably finish at 9, but we kind of wanted to finish at 8 anyway. When we
really? You wanted to finish earlier?
We would have if Tekken was like best of 3. Like that's the only thing that kind of.
I think Tekken would have knocked off about maybe 20 minutes.
It's true. The brackets reset in KOF. That took a while.
But I think with T-Sports, what it said the most was that you don't have to come across as a major, and you don't have to have all this backing from all these other companies in order to run.
Hey, speaking of self, we had Ubisoft Reflection. I'm just kidding.
He works for them though, doesn't he, Sean?
Yeah, he works for them. Organizer Sean.
But like I said, man, if you've got good people who care about the games and they care about the community, if you've got good people running your events, and you're gonna have a good time regardless. That's why I thought that Hypespotting and T-Sports were my favourite events of the entire year.
Okay.
Like the fact that they were probably some of the more lower budget events.
Oh, gotcha. So that's definitely your highlight. I mean, I was gonna just think. I mean, so that's definitely the shoe-in. That's your highlight for this year, Scott. It's definitely Hypespotting and.
Yeah, T-Sports. Yeah, T-Sports just because of the people that were running it, and Hypespotting because of a bit of everything. The people, the venue.
Just
the way it was ran, the timekeeping was great. Everything was fantastic at Hypespotting. I couldn't fault Hypespotting when I got back really at all. I didn't really have any complaints.
Well, all I could say is T-Sports. I mean, I didn't even play anything, but I enjoyed myself so much. I'm going to go back there again.
I was so tired as well. Like I'd had 2 hours sleep because I'd had a graduation dig like the night there, like literally. Ooh. And then I had 2 hours to go off. I was like, crap, we're gonna go down. Gotta organize T-Sports. And so I went down, and then there was a McDonald's. So I was like, oh, I gotta get some breakfast. I went in, and like at 8 o'clock in the morning, probably this was at. You see Giga D like having like McDonald's breakfast there at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Breakfast of champions.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Jamie, his dedication to actually traveling to actual events.
I saw
what a guy.
Yeah.
What a guy.
I'm not going to say, but there was a lot of Londoners that signed up and they didn't turn up, which kind of was a little bit disappointing.
He was always turning up with his little fisherman's stool, and his little DIY arcade stick that looks like it's been made by fucking Neil Buchanan on Art Attack.
Yeah.
Well, bro, man, everywhere where there's KOF,
like he traveled the country a lot.
Yeah, man, that was ridiculous. We were talking about it over dinner. He came to dinner with us and 29 other people or whatever it was. It was ridiculous. Having the entire community eating palmos and stuff. You missed out, man.
I could have been there, man.
It was pretty sick.
That Tekken Best of 5. Oh.
Yeah. If only. It was pretty sick. I really enjoyed that dinner. I was tired the entire day through, but by the time I got to dinner, I was so relaxed. And then I got home and then I knocked out. But but that was pretty cool.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
Overall, T-Sports sound event. Sure. What else do we need to talk about?
Okay. And now we're in autumn, and I know this wasn't so much an event, but it was something that happened literally between the I series and so and so's. We had DJ Hoshin come down just for the day. Yeah, just for the day.
Yeah, I watched some of the videos.
And it wasn't a good look, was it?
Well, same thing happened with another American that came.
Yeah, which was literally only a month later, which leads us right nicely onto the other I series,
which was a week after T-Sports.
Yeah, but
I did T-Sports 1 week, and then I went to I-47 next week. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. But like I said, but still in the Hoshin bit, it was like, in all fairness, nobody really knew, DJ Hoshin's characters, because apparently, when just as he was leaving, because I only recorded what we got from the gamer base events, that Kaisertron actually did beat Hoshin as well, so it wasn't just Zack. But essentially, most of the London scene got pretty much ruffle stomped by DJ Hoshin.
Yeah.
But then the whole character argument thing is the only way you can be really good at a fighting game is if you've got the experience against every character.
Let me just throw this out there. I actively play something like 5, 6, or 7 fighting games.
Yeah.
Alternatively, whatever. I only practice what is on the tournament roster for whatever the next tournament I'm going to. If I rinsed one game and one game only, you best believe I'd know all the matchups. I'd know exactly what I needed to do. So when your game is Marvel, and whoever you might be listening to me, do not know a matchup, there's something wrong with you. You've had all the time in the world to learn it. Come on, you can't blame the matchup at all. I can, right? I'm allowed. That's something I am allowed to do. If you rinse one game, that is something you are not allowed to do.
That's
Sorry.
the thing when I look at the people in a lot of the Street Fighter 4 events, it's because they rinse just Street Fighter 4, like Problem X, He hammers Street Fighter 4, as does Taha and the other London guys who are really good at SF4. And they know the matchups because that's the only game they play, and that's the only game they really concentrate on. But same with Marvel. Thing is with Marvel, though, there's a lot more shit to know, a lot crazier than... So someone comes in with a Felicia and just smashes you up. It's difficult because you need to find another player really that you can get practice against who uses that character well.
Yeah, but you see, I can understand if it's something legitimately, because in Marvel it's a bit crazy, and if you have an assist that is also quite obscure with an obscure character, then maybe I might let you off. But the dude didn't even have a neutral assist, did he? Really? He had Felicia, Skrull. And who else was it? I can't even remember. Felicia Skrull something. Taskmaster?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, well, exactly. There you go. There's nothing really out of this world out there. It's not like fucking that new Nemo team that got thrown out there recently. And it's was strange and stuff.
But in all fair honesty, Zack did defeat him quite convincingly, so...
Yeah, because he definitely rinses the game and has definitely went through that period of time where he was probably rinsing all the characters and the matchups and the blah 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 blah. So I can totally understand
Zack's a player with the mindset that he knows how to get good. So
exactly.
he knows what he needs to concentrate on, and he does it.
Yeah, but I see the same Marvel heads like week in, week out, and WSO rinsing the same game. Come on, man! Come on, really? Like, I don't even have a Marvel team yet, so like, if only I did, I'd like rinse the game a bit more. But
Okay.
yeah, come on, no excuses, guys.
Okay, but
level up your personalities.
Okay,
Bro,
so
your reality.
oh, gotcha. But like I said, that was kind of a warning, wasn't it? And then, literally a month later, it's like, oh my days!
Combo Fiend.
And let's be honest, he is literally on a whole different level to Hoshin.
Yeah.
He's way better. But I think it's just his overall any fighting game sort of game plan, his mindset is better.
Oh, and as you were mentioning earlier in the talk about versus fighting, yeah, you can hear it on the last interview. Well, actually, no, the second before last interview, because the last interview I released was the ST one, which not a lot of people have downloaded yet. So please check it out. JPJ and Orf are excellent fellas. But anyway, oh crap.
Where can people get your podcast from, by the way? Because since you stopped posting them on Neo Empire, I don't know where the fuck I'm looking.
YouTube. Follow me on Twitter, and yeah.
Subscribe to Article 12, is it?
Yeah.
On YouTube.
Yep. YouTube / Article 12.
You use YouTube, don't you, Kaworu Scott?
I've recently
subscribe to Kaworu Scott.
Why? So I can make more ass slide videos.
Yeah, I saw that on 8 on the break. I was thinking, wait a minute, I know that voice.
Yeah, that was sick. Well done, Scott. Well done.
Yeah, it's got 32,000 views at the moment.
Of internet fame, burning Mortal Kombat guides and sliding his ass across the floor in Tekken Tag 2.
That's what I'm known for.
Okay, but like I said, so then again, this is where I kind of technically we could count this as the lows, because pure and simply, Combo Fiend sort of, well, he then ruffle stomped the AE lot, and again, if you check out my interview with him,
with Oni, like, I'm not sure if you know Street Fighter 4 that well. Let me tell you, that character is terrible.
Yes,
that is 10 material, and he won Winner Stays On Oni. Like, I can respect that. I like that.
I'll retract that. In Fair Jews, they did play a sort of Kumite, and the AA Kumite was not as, let's say, it wasn't as painful. Yeah, because obviously we
the Marvel one.
Yeah, because in chronological order, you had the AE Kumite, which, yeah, there was like about 3 or 4 guys that did beat Combo Fiend quite convincingly. Whereas the Marvel one, it was pretty bad when people started applauding for just people winning rounds.
Yeah, Hype Monkey took a game, didn't he? And then like that was it for like the next 5 games.
Only 4 people managed to take games off it, and yeah, that's how it was. Chrome, it was Hype Monkey, it was Kaisertron, and oh crap, I got a brain like a sieve. Yeah. Oh yeah, Don D. No, not Don D. Aaron.
All right, yeah.
I watched afterwards. I saw Don D was beating him, like I think after what was the event?
I-47?
Oh yeah, the I-47. Yeah. Before
Which brings us very swiftly upon to.
Okay,
He's
Mike.
using your catchphrases against you, Skirmish.
Okay, Mike. The Street Fighter 25th. I believe you got quite a lot to say. Okay, let me just pour myself a drink. Go ahead. Go on.
Oh wow, we're going straight into that part, are we?
Let's go.
Come on.
Really? Oh my god. Okay, fine. Look, we'll go straight into it.
You did really well, though, didn't you, Mike?
Shut up.
Don't be modest about it.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, before we start, that kind of premature pop-off against Andreas, really?
Oh no, I don't care, man. Like,
Mike's all about the showmanship. You should know that.
Exactly.
If you win, man, not during the first.
No, if you can't win in style, what is the point?
Bro, do you know what? It would have been epic if you did manage to pop off in the first round and then ultimately won.
I didn't pop off. Like, I don't even know what you're talking about, really. I was just like,
you won a round against Andreas.
Is there ever a match you don't pop off at? Like casuals, I've seen you pop off at in Manchester.
Look, Z was right next to me taking photos, and when I won, he was taking photos, so I posed for the camera. I don't see what I did wrong, guys. God, just being myself.
Just leveling your personality.
Just being a personality. Sorry, I can't please everybody. God. But anyway, like aside from SF4, which I wasn't really interested in, just saying. like I was rinsing for the 3 weeks leading up to my trip to the UK.
You got beaten by an Italian. Yeah, since you ruined my introduction to esports.
Shut up, man. Okay, well, 1-1 now. Well, 1-1, and I'll remember this.
You ruined my introduction to T-Sport, so I'll do it to yours.
Fine. Well, anyway, I was rinsing Cross Tekken for like the 3 weeks leading up to the thingy.
Nice. Who are you using in a lot of that rinsing?
I was using Elisa Jury. I used that for Portugal, so I decided to use it for thingy.
Yeah,
like I just use characters I like. Like sometimes it works out, you know, in KOF. Animaru is really good. You know,
you used to use like, Hugo Jury, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't have a second character that I liked, so I just tend to put like whatever good character is at the time on there. So like I used Hugo. Now he's quite crap, so I quite liked Elisa. You know, I thought the color synergy was pretty cool with Jury, so I just threw her in there.
That's the most important thing.
Of course, exactly. Anyway, so I just threw her in there. You know, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, and I won the Cross Tekken event in Portugal when I went, so I just rinsed that. And but I didn't really keep up with like what was cheap until like I went online, and then I realized, okay,
Cody,
I pretty much know for sure that Cody is the best character in the game. I know it because
crouching short, standing forward,
free frame crouching short that you can confirm into a full combo. If you jump when he's in that range, if you jump, you can't jump because pre-frame thingies, pre-jump frames.
4 frames, isn't it? It hits you before you even.
Yeah, like if you jump at the same time as he throws that crouching light kick, you're done for. Anyway, so I kind of like I had that epiphany where I could play top tier, and in the week I'd probably have something better for I-47, and I just went no, I'll just stick to what I know because I like to win with characters I like. Sometimes it works out.
I was watching the stream, and you know, people's comments. People liked seeing someone using characters like Elisa. You know, things they haven't.
Yeah. Everyone loves low tier. Well, I don't know if they're low tiers, but they just like different characters. But yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's sick of Ryu and Relento. In every single match. Rufus in every single team.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. Like Relento as well. Like, you know, sometimes it works out. Sometimes, you know, you liked Virgil in Marvel. He was tier. That was great. So, you know, that worked out. You know, in this exact occasion, it worked out to an extent, but it just fell short a bit. I came third.
Where did you come?
I came third. Yes.
That's good, man. That's really good. Like,
that's really good. Except like the only thing worthwhile getting was the trip to America that was first and second.
Which you were one space out.
Now let me say, when I made winners finals against Momochi, and then I was talking to Z. And Z was like, "Oh, you got this. You know, Momochi doesn't really play Cross Tekken, and he's actually quite worried because he's never played Lisa before." And I was like, "Oh, great. You know, I have a chance."
You got the mind game going already before you even start.
Yeah, Momochi apparently put on Twitter that morning as well, where it was like,
"I'm scared of Metallic Mike. I'm shit scared."
Not that. If I need help with the Elisa matchup.
What? You did not. Oh god.
Some people linked him to like a Japanese forum, or Z was telling me or whatever, and he learned like a couple of basic stuff in the matchup that you need to know. The chainsaws hit 5 times. That's plenty of time to confirm an alpha counter. He was the only person in the entire tournament to figure that out, because that's what destroys her. That's what makes her low tier, is the fact that you can alpha counter anything. And if you have a character, which is by the way most of them, that tag cancels that alpha counter into more damage.
When you're a sponsored player like Momochi, I guess, you know, Twitter becomes, right, I need my legions of fans to tell me what the fuck I should be doing against, you know, the Gibraltar prodigy, MetallicMike.
Gibraltar what?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, he knew exactly what to do by the time I had to play him, like, in the space of a day. So I got beaten really badly, and especially because it was Cody and Rufus, it was like not a chance. Then I had to play Kingston. Okay, I didn't think like I would. I looked at his match. I thought Ryu Relento standard. You know, he plays a top tier team, but I can do it. It's not Cody. But no, like there was just so much wrong. I was so scared because I had one chance to just like make up
all
everything.
riding on the line.
Yeah. Well, I had a chance to make up everything that I had for in the last, you know, well, not the week before because I was in the UK and I couldn't practice, but the 3 weeks before that, like, I rinsed it. And I was so, you know, I was hoping for, you know, Fuzzy and entered, I have a chance at this, you know, because he's already qualified. So then like I lost to Momochi, and then suddenly like, oh no, I only have one chance, and I was shaking, and he was just like excusing me for being just really like nervous, and he held himself together better than I did. Like he got 3 clean jump-ins on me, like because I'd done a DP, and I don't know if it was the
you don't
PS3
in that
or...
game as well, man.
I don't. Yeah.
Lands just full jumping and takes like near 40% off. It's like because that game's so sparse in damage.
Yeah, it was demoralizing. He just took 3 jump-ins on me, and I'm not sure if that was because of the PS3 or because I was really nervous, but they just weren't happening. And empty jump load me for free, and then before I knew it, I was just like, oh man, that's out third. I get, what do I get? Like a Cross Tekken art book, a Resident Evil hoodie.
Do you want a trip to San Francisco, or do you want a Cross Tekken art?
Yeah, exactly. Do you want my copy of? Do you have a Vita? I have Cross Tekken on the Vita. Like, I don't really need it, but I have it.
That game didn't even sell well. It's like, what's it sold like 80,000 copies or something? It's fucking terrible.
Exactly. I don't know. Do you want it? I'll give it to you. I can't have no use for this.
PS Vita touchscreen version.
And I don't think a lot of people know about this part. Is that because I mentioned it to people on IRC, and that was about it. I didn't put it on Twitter or anything. But Kingston didn't have a passport. And
what?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember you were waiting to see whether or not he could get his passport finalized so he could confirm whether or not he was going.
Remember that the tournament happened on the Sunday. His deadline to get the passport was 5 p.m. on the Tuesday. He had 2 days, or 1 day even, because he'd have to go there on the Monday to get a passport. And on Monday, D'Artagnan was panicking. He asked for my details. I gave it to him. You know, he was like, give me a statement for...
You were another step closer to a trip to San Francisco.
A photo for the event thingy, the portfolio or whatever you call it.
Oh, you were going to do a Mike Ross. That was cool.
And I was like, oh yeah, this is another chance. And then suddenly on Tuesday, I woke up. D'Artagnan messaged me. He was like, sorry, he got the passport. And I was like, crap.
Oh,
and that was birthday, by the way. So great birthday present for me. So that was a great way to start the day. I just felt like crap. And basically, not a day has gone by since that I've just like totally regretted losing that. And it will probably stay with me for a very long time because I really wanted to go to America, man. Like, I like traveling, and fighting games does give me it gives me a network of homeless shelters for nerds, you know.
Okay.
Basically,
I'm gonna have to quote that and use that in the soundbite.
Yeah. Shout outs to the Tigers. I kind of stole that from him.
Oh, patented.
Yeah.
So you're stealing tech now. Okay, I see.
Yeah, I know,
that's nothing new for Mike, man. Stealing tech.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just gonna stay with me forever, man. Like it's something I'll have to deal with. Whatever. You live and learn.
I gotcha. I know we glazed through it because obviously we're talking about Combo Fiend, and again in the two previous podcasts I interviewed, and Combo Fiend did actually confirm he doesn't actually own a 360, and that even worse, he doesn't even play on a gaming monitor. He plays on an LDC TV with only which actually has like 1 frame of lag in it. So it's like,
is he doing that just to say, look, I shouldn't be winning, but I am winning?
So the fact that, yeah, because obviously you remember we just had that big conversation about versus fighting, how we won.
He just gets to play the best players at Marvel all the time. So
that is the main thing, I think.
What does it matter?
He lives in America where he has literally the best competition. I guess you need to level up your own competition in order. You can, if you're sat in WSO or Manchester Battle Arena or anything, just beating your locals, you're only ever going to be as good as those locals. That's why people like Giga D is traveling across the country because, at T-Sports he lost to Big Fool, and he might play in London, he might win everything there, and not beat Ryan Hart, but he's getting the experience against Ryan Hart. Then he goes other place. He goes overseas and loses to Big Fool. He's right. I'm not the best in the country, but the best way to get better is to play these other players, these other matchups, these other characters being used well. And that is that you've got to travel, but you're limited by your competition, I guess.
Oh, definitely. But I don't know. That just, to me, that's just incredible because again, it's like the lag doesn't even matter to him whatsoever. It's like he just.
It usually doesn't matter to me either. Like I don't really care, but sometimes it does like mess you up. Like
that's why when people say
where you don't think it would.
When people say things like, "Oh, this TV's got a frame of lag," or "This TV's got 2 frames of lag," or whatever, it's like. adjust to it. You adjust to it as you're playing. It's like in a game like Marvel, though, it's a lot more lenient on combos. You don't have to be frame perfect.
Yeah, no, he did say that, so yeah.
Oh, did he? Great mind.
Whoa! Somebody's blowing into their mic.
Sorry.
Okay.
I adjusted my headset a bit, so my ears are burning up, really.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Right. So the only thing that was left right after the I-47 is SVB. By the looks.
Oh, by the way, before like we move away from I-47, I've come across as a bit salty. I thought the event was greatly run. Thought the venue was great. The stage setup was cool, and it was hype. Their setups, headsets on everything, Mad Cat sticks on everything, so I didn't have to take a stick down. And the dragons were running like Marvel, and that was really cool. They had
it looked great, man. It looked really professional, everything.
For the spectatorship. So yeah, like obviously I don't want to move away without saying.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Great event, but I came out salty as hell. I did literally come off of my Cross Tekken match to then play my losers bracket SF4 most depressing mood I'd ever been in. Basically lost instantly.
I really wanted to go myself, but unfortunately, work got in the way and I couldn't make it down. But my brother went down and he came second in Marvel. And just from watching the stream and hearing, all the Manx guys that could make it down, it was fantastic. Because whenever he landed a hit, I could just hear the Manx just shouting. And even said on commentary, the moment Fafa lands any hit, you just hear the Manx start screaming at the TVs. It made me feel so proud inside because I've been there every time that's happened. Like nearly every event, I'm always the one stood up shouting. So it was really nice to watch, man. And like you said, the whole event looked great. I'm just gutted I missed it.
Yeah, a bit of a tangent. I think somebody even mentioned. I think there's 20. Whoa! What was that wind? Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. Like I said, bit of a tangent. Yeah, bit of a tangent. But somebody's saying the amount of emotion that has been coming out of the 25th, because obviously the stakes are really high. Like obviously the car, the massive prize funds. It's like we saw Takedo crying, for Christ's sake. Like I've never ever seen that, and it's like
he was crying. What? This first time of this? What?
No. At the finals again. Like I said, it was a tangent, and I'm just thinking, if FGC events get bigger and bigger, are we going to see more of these things happening? Because the last time I ever saw that. Yeah, the last time I saw that happen was
hashtag Ryan Rufus.
After what match can I see this?
The grand finals of Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Yeah, Takedo was pretty much crying. He couldn't even get up out of his seat. His face was covered up.
We'll definitely watch this back. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking, as you were saying yourself, because the stakes were so high. Because let's be honest, our events, why they do have. Yeah, you don't want to lose.
But I only lost like a trip to America, really.
Yeah.
Like the money doesn't really matter to me. Like it just felt like, oh man, yeah, I get to go to America.
I'm just thinking.
If it was money, I wouldn't have cared. But for some reason, trip to America was pretty high up in my expectations.
Gotcha. But I'm just thinking, if the stakes get
looking on the USA.
Yeah.
Oh my joke.
Okay. But I'm just thinking, as the stakes get higher, perhaps the nerves will even sort of get higher as well, and again, we'll see more of these emotions definitely now.
Yeah, and also you see a sort of some people can freeze up, when the stakes are really high, and look at someone like Guki Fafa in the finals against Combo. He does lightning loops on me all the time, kills me every time. I'm not just saying it because obviously he's my brother, but he does it all the time.
Nepotism, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, but when I get hit by a zero combo, I just assume the character's dead every single time because he hardly ever drops it. But he said his nerves were so bad against Combo Fiend. You could hear all the Manx screaming and all the other British guys because they wanted someone from the UK to beat the American. It was like he said he just took over and his hands were shaking while he was doing stuff. So you're absolutely right. I think stakes are higher than they normally are. It's something as a pro player, if you want to be a pro player, you need to get over. And I guess that's what someone like Justin Wong, who can just play anything, anywhere, he never lets that stuff get to him, and he always performs well. So I think as the stakes get higher, definitely you'll see more nerves coming out of people.
Yeah, that's why
you get taken out of your comfort zone, don't you? You're not comfortable anymore. You're nervous.
Oh, yeah, like I said, definitely for sure. And like I said, and now we finally get on to that's a nice long enough gap. Yeah, and now SVB.
I've been to every SVB. I love SVB and I love Bulletproof and what he's done for the community. if it wasn't for Neo Empire and it wasn't for SVB, over this last 7 years or so, I wouldn't have met so many people. I wouldn't be talking to you guys now. So
yeah, in fair dues, I would have not known. Yeah, you Scott, you Mike, or
I don't know, man. Like I didn't really. Kaworu didn't like me until Hypespotting. He thought I was a prick.
Yeah, that's because you're Mr. Personality, innit? Like I didn't know how to take you at first. I didn't know if it was all bullshit or if you were just some egotistical maniac. So.
I see.
Once I got to know you, I remember having a discussion with you.
Yeah, no, the problem is, it is actually all true, but you're a nice guy.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind that in people. I.e., we do need characters in the FGC. God forbid. It's like some of our best players. I won't name names. They are in desperate need of, character.
Personality.
Well, that too. But yeah.
Yeah, but no, SVB went ahead. I couldn't. I was all ready to go. Like I had everything sorted out. I was going to start hotel, train, because I definitely wanted to go. But unfortunately, pretty much everybody I was going to go with dropped out, like 99%. And I thought I can't go down on my own, man. Like it's cost me so much money, hotel and all that. And I guess if you really want to go, you'll make the effort. But I just didn't want to. I'm so used to going to SVB with all the Manx and having such a great time that I couldn't believe that this year, like everybody dropped out. And then you look at the reasons why they all said they dropped out. It was things like too close to Christmas, not enough notice. But I thought the notice was still pretty long. Like there's still a fair bit of notice, more than some other events that ran this year.
Well, but I personally, as an international that has to fly out all the time, really like about 5 months to get those cheap airline tickets.
Yeah.
2 months is too quickly. I can't do 2 months.
Okay.
Too short.
Actually, what happened? Yeah, actually, what happened? Because the thing is, I didn't actually get to watch the stream because I had to do my. I actually have to do my Christmas shopping this week, or literally, I'm not going to be able to do it. And also, because I have been mad busy. That's why I've not been uploading podcasts and all that stuff. As I got home, my computer was literally down because it was all the processing power was dedicated to rendering videos and all that stuff. The only update I got was literally from Twitter from a couple of guys that DM'd me. So yeah, there was a lot of stuff flying around. So yeah, what happened?
Well,
I don't know much.
I wasn't there. I saw the stream. I watched most of the stream, and I
watched the S25th. So
I heard the turnouts were really low for a lot of games.
Yeah, I spoke to a guy yesterday at when I was streaming the Soul Calibur and Marvel. Yeah, had about 28 people.
Put it this way, I tuned in. The last game they ran was Marvel, and that was what I was really looking forward to watching. Because obviously, regardless of where the players are from, Marvel's always great to watch. And there are a lot of top players in London. And then I noticed that when I was looking at the stream chat, that like 90% of the top Marvel players were in the chat and not on the stream. So I was thinking, wait a minute, a lot of these people live in London. I don't understand why they're not there as well.
It was an expensive tournament to get to, basically.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, the actual venue fee, on the day, i.e., if they didn't sign up in advance, was 30. I think it was 30 quid or, but it was like 20 if you signed up in advance, and then obviously it's £10 a tournament. I think even Worski said himself on Twitter that he wasn't going to attend because it would literally have cost him about 60 quid to go.
Well, I mean, if it's your one-off UK major, then I think people should spend the money on going to something like that. But because of all the problems with how late it was announced and everything else, I can understand the criticisms towards the event. But I guess now, though, we're in a position where there are majors all over the country. So people are just thinking, well, I'll just go to Hypespotting or I'll go to I-48 or whatever, and leave SVB. And it feels like the UK, that was the UK's major for every year. If you go to one event in the UK, there's a fighting game event, you go to SVB. But then due to the forum and things going wrong, on the forum as well, it sort of seems like it's all died down quite a lot, unfortunately.
Yeah, the other Twitter post I got was that apparently, because that was one of the biggest controversies, that they added FIFA to the lineup, that apparently only four people signed up, and out of that four
people, really? Wow.
Yeah, this is actual fact. 4 people signed up, but only 2.
What a surprise!
But only 2 people.
Wait, 2 people only played FIFA. Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah. Only 2 people actually played, and that was one by Killer7, who actually lives nearby me in Leighton.
Killer7 won the FIFA tournament.
Yeah, and he won 200 quid.
He's a fighting game player, only like from back in the day, like years ago. He used to be at all the events. I used to see him all the time.
Yeah, and he got 200 quid because it was a guaranteed prize pot, which...
What? 4 people? And it was, what, £10 in? So they made 40 quid, and then the prize pot was 200 quid.
Yeah, it was...
They just agreed to split the prize pot, like all of them. No matter what happened, it's going to come out with guaranteed
We all
money.
get 40 quid regardless. All pay a tenner, and we all get that back. Plus 40 quid each.
The other controversial was Dead or Alive 5, which I'm kind of on the fence about because, in all honesty, it's a brand new game and it's not really that old.
You've been running streaming events that have been ran for Dead or Alive in London for the last few weeks.
It's not the biggest turnout, but in the grand scheme of things, yeah, we had about 8 people, which in my opinion is a start, because obviously I've streamed smaller events, but apparently at SVB, because I can confirm this with my friend who actually went there, he said only 6 people turned up.
So you've got more people at your smaller events than SVB.
Just to correct you, Scott, it wasn't my event. I was just a streamer. So...
All right, you know what I mean. The events that you stream, yeah. So a smaller local event got more players than the big UK.
Which was an actual major, and even more shocking, the actual top player.
It's just expensive. It's just too much.
No. The other thing, which is actually kind of true, because the actual current top player at the Dead or Alive Rambats that I'm streaming is this guy called Messi. He actually have never heard of Neo Empire. He wasn't even aware that there was SVB going on that weekend.
I guess it's about... Yeah, I mean, there are so many people that have joined the community through Neo Empire, though, like, over the years, and SVB and turning... there was people that I only ever used to see once a year because I'd see them at SVB, and it was such a big treat to go down, but... It's the stark difference between, what was it? Was it 2 years ago? Not this year's SVB, not the one before.
Yeah.
What's that, 2010?
Yeah.
SVB was amazing. I absolutely loved every minute of it. And then it started dying down at SVB last year when there was the problems with the riots and everything else.
Oh, those were dark times, yeah. The London riots.
And then obviously this year it's gone from bad to worse. It's like looks like no one turned up. When the stream showed the people playing, you could see behind them, and there was like, you saw in the stream chat was people saying, "Whoa, it's empty in there. There's no one in there."
Well, it was more like,
it made me feel really.
The crowd goes wild. Am I right?
That was fair sarcasm.
But
it made me feel kind of sick, man. It made me feel like something I hold dear to my heart is just dying off. It's like it's on life.
Yeah, but in all fair dues, again, it's not just to play devil advocate. The people that actually at the event didn't actually think it was all that bad, because you had Logan saying that.
Oh, so they enjoyed the event, yeah.
Yeah, you had Logan saying that apparently AE actually had about 55 sign-ups, and again, that baffles me. It goes back to I-46 when I was thinking, wait a minute, there was more entrants in London. There was like 55 entrants in London, whereas, was it EGL only had 47? And I'm thinking, but there were more Northerners and non-Londoners at EGL, wasn't there?
Yeah.
So obviously it's got to be true because Logan said it. So there are definitely more Londoners that are playing AE in the London area. So so that's just really interesting.
It's just I mean, to see, because Bulletproof did say that he's sort of doing this last minute SVB this year, so he has one every year, and that he was going to run a proper one, a real big one next year in August, September. And I just hope that because of how badly it seems that the turnout was for SVB this year, that it doesn't ruin the chances of another SVB.
Oh yeah, gotcha. But there was other Twitters that I got that apparently they even announced that there was a bonus pot for Marvel on the actual day of the event.
What?
It's a bit shady, like.
Yeah, it was only announced.
How much is that?
300.
300 quid.
Might have been. Was it 2 or 400? I know it was. Well, it's either between 2 or 4.
£400.
400.
And that was on the day.
Yeah, it was only on the day, and again, according to my tweet, everyone was just saying why.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but they were not transparent with their event at all. They weren't transparent with the rules. Weren't anywhere for FIFA. Like, for example, as well as pretty much anything to my knowledge. They didn't announce prize pots. they didn't want like registration lists. I think it's quite cool, like seeing the registration list for like, you know, I don't know a lot of tournaments that don't do it this year. I mean, if I just look at my list.
Well, I guess
Proving Grounds did
argument as to why they don't do that.
T-Sports did it.
Yeah. EGL did it. T-Sports did it. Hypespotting did it. I-47 did not do it, but it had like...
Saigo's not going, so I ain't going.
It had a counter that said how many people had registered. It didn't give you how many. EGL had the same sort of thing where they released it at the end. Versus Fighting, I'm not sure about because it didn't go to that. And pretty much every single NBA had that as well.
Versus Fighting did have a pre-sign-up list because
So I'm just saying, like, you know, small things. And when people ask questions, like disregarding the troll questions as well, I have been guilty of that as well. But at the same time, there were legit questions that were just going on tiers, and I don't like to see that. So whatever. You want to announce prize pot and just don't tell anyone, that's totally cool. Whatever. I'm not going next year. I'm just saying.
Something like esports, it was like a sort of one-off event ran by guys in the Northeast, got more entrants for nearly everything than SVB did. It kind of fucking boggles the mind. Because it was only Street Fighter 4 that capped out.
Yeah, it was only Street Fighter 4 that was the that was the big standout because it was apparently
Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, but in all fairness, the guy I did work with one of the organizers. Yeah, he's Mr. Gravehog. He's the guy that runs the second tape pit, and I can tell you, he's an excellent organizer. As a matter of fact, the Tekken Snake pits on average they finish, funny enough, at 8 p.m. And what do? To wind down, we just all play casuals, and then go home. Which
I don't think anyone doubts the abilities of the organizers because look at previous events that have run brilliantly by these people. You know, there's no. It's just why is this one event? Why is SVB this year just
one event?
Why didn't no one go?
I did not enjoy SVB last year. I thought it was terribly organized last year, and the year before, I'm told more or less the same thing. A lot of timekeeping issues, a lot of that kind of stuff. So I don't know. Like, three years in a row. I'm sorry. Like I probably won't ever attend another one. But that's just me.
Yeah, gotcha.
Like I'm pretty close-minded. If other people want to give it like a go, whatever, obviously go. I'm not stopping anyone from going.
What I do love about the community now is sort of events like SVB.
There's choice.
Yeah, exactly. There's way more choice now. There's like we discussed throughout this entire podcast. How many events has there been this year alone? I think there was more fighting games this year than any other year for the UK.
Yeah,
like
we could definitely say 2012. Every other scene just pretty much stood up. Yeah, like I said, I'm thinking about it now. We had something for the Northwest, EGL, the Manchester Battle Arenas. We had obviously T-Sport just recently. We got the Proving Grounds in the Southwest. London's got some stuff.
Pretty much every area of the country is covered.
Well, do you know what? I'm not being mean or anything, but I think somebody did argue, and I think it was Chrome Alchemist, that he actually said that London has Ranbats, but it doesn't actually have any majors, which is actually kind of true when you think about it. It does not really have those multi events. I mean, you could have argued Ultimate Clashes were.
It used to have Ultimate Clash. I went to Ultimate Clash 1 ages ago. It was my first out of area tournament, and it was a good venue. That's it.
No, in all fairness, they also had the old. No, come on. Because like I said, all of 2011, I stayed in London. Because it's nice and easy. I can hop on a tube train and what have you. But obviously, for people like yourselves that were in the Northeast and Kaworu that is in the Southwest, and actually, do you know what? Yeah, tell a lie. I actually missed a trick. Try from getting all the way. Yeah, because obviously I stayed at Hadashroom's house in Bladen. Getting all the way back from Bladen back to London, I'm actually starting to appreciate now very much why. Yeah. A much time in advance is definitely needed because that journey was wow. It just because it took. I think it like took me about 2.5 hours just to get back from Manchester. Newcastle to Middlesbrough, and then obviously the rest of the other 3 hours to then get back to London.
Yeah. It only seems that my personal trips to tournaments have been taking even longer. I went 7 hours to Proving Grounds by train. I went 12 hours to Portugal, and that's, by the way, not that far away from me, but because I don't have a method of driving now or whatever, like I had to take planes, and then waiting in between interconnecting flights took me a while. So I was just like, 12 hours just to get to a tournament. What am I thinking?
But shout outs to you, Mike. I mean, despite the fact that you live in, a totally different back end part of the globe, you've travelled to loads of events in the UK.
Yeah.
So
shout outs to my government for giving me money to go to uni, giving me a lot of disposable income, especially when I was living in a cheap area, to be able to do that kind of stuff. So shout outs to the Gibraltarian government. You guys are great.
Gibraltarian. Is that the official term? Oh man.
You haven't heard this. I'm pretty sure I've told you, but oh well.
The Gibraltarian. Yeah. Oh, I was about to call you a jabroni, but anyway.
Yeah. Or I think Z quite a lot of I-47 on commentary. He said something like, and he's from Gibraltar or something like that. Gibraltar or something. I said something really weird. I was just like, oh my god, I'll have to watch that back just to hear what you said. It was on the SF4 match, I think. No, it was on my cross-second match. That was it.
Gotcha. Well, that was this year. And now, I guess with the remaining time, we have to quickly talk about our plans for next year. And I guess we have to cut out my rant on the Wii U. I guess I'll save that for the New Year's special.
I don't know, man. Like, what were your favorite tournaments? Like, I want to know, like, Skirmish. Like,
no, I kid you not. I know it's not because I want to be impartial or whatever as I normally had. It's just generally all the events out of London were outstanding. They were not one better than the other. I cannot honestly say that the Northeast were better than the Manchester lot.
Not even on like a personal sort of like level.
They were all good to me, and it's like, you know what? I actually, the reason why I carry on with the show, because the original plan was I was actually going to ever do 6 podcasts. The reason why I did 6 was because all the podcasts on Neo Empire always magically ended at 5. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do 6 podcasts and then move on to something else. But then it was a case of people were like PM me and say, yeah, Skirmish, is there going to be an episode this week? Or good job, Skirmish. And it just made me want to carry on.
Yeah, man, keep up the good
Yeah,
work.
ignore the bad stuff. You guys know.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about that. It's just a waste of time. And it's like,
yeah.
Ever since I've started traveling around, again, generally traveling around, all the people I've met, like in the Southwest, like, the super minor battle farms, they are damn fine people. They're damn exceptionally fine people. It's like, it'd be unfair to say that I find that event better than so-and-so event. That would just be damn right and solely. I find literally all the events outside London to be as good. And that's the reason why I had no problems going all the way to Newcastle to just bring my streaming gear and not even play any games.
Should the Londoners then be insulted that you don't consider them as good as people outside of London?
Moving on.
Moving on. I don't know. I'll probably. Yeah.
What about you, Kaworu? What are your favorite tournaments this year?
Oh, Hypespotting and T-Sports. Well, I think Hypespotting is the best. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay. Oh, actually, not damn. So anyway,
2013.
Anyway, so now what are we going to do next year? So what events are we looking for?
Hypespotting, straight away. Hypespotting is coming up at the end of March.
I wish I could go. I want to go to Hypespotting. No. I don't know yet. It depends. I have to pass this exam, and then if I do, I'll go. If not, I really need to get myself in order, really.
So Hypespotting is coming up at the end of March, 2013, and one thing that they added that I thought was fantastic was they added a fighting game quiz night. So you're getting your teams, you pick a team name, and then for actual money as well, I think it might be £5 or £10 team or something like that, or £2 per player. But then they've got quiz rounds where everything from questions to music, so just sort of testing your fighting game knowledge over the years. I just think that'd be such a good laugh, rather than just playing in tournaments, which obviously they're going to run as well.
That sounds so sick as well.
It sounds good, man. Yeah. Because the thing they use as well, you can drink as well, the bar, and there's food outside, so you can bring food in as well. So everyone's just chilling at the tables with their teams, shouting, "Oh no, Street Fighter 2 came out in '91. No, it didn't. It came out in '92." That I love all that community aspect of it, and
it's sick.
And
I also like how the Road to Hypespotting seeding events have now gone across the UK. Like everyone's like contributing basically. It's
Yeah,
just pretty cool to see
Proving
that.
Grounds are running. Proving Grounds have got a road to Hypespotting, haven't they? They've recently done one up north. I know Manchester's. We're going to be running a road to Hypespotting in the new year at some point. So yeah, it's definitely spreading. It's looking like Hypespotting might become the new UK major, but it is quite far up north, so you probably won't see as many Londoners as you.
I even mentioned it because I'm quite like I know the guys from Portugal quite a lot. I mentioned it to them, and so a few of them are looking to come. Kupo, Ferdi, and Nuno, I think. So shout out to you guys if you can make it, if you follow through. That's just for now. Maybe some other people will come. Okay. I'm looking at you, Obake and Garuda and stuff. You guys should come as well if you're listening.
Yeah, I'm definitely down for Hypespotting. Was it Glasgow or Edinburgh? Was it?
Yeah. Hopefully, like everyone will turn up. The Londoners, the Irish, and like.
No. Yeah, was it Glasgow or Edinburgh that it was based at?
Glasgow.
Okay, because if I do go, I actually probably want to fly down there because I think
Yeah.
Not ride your little bike, no.
Well, no, it was that train journey from Newcastle. Really, I think that's my upper limit. I mean, obviously, I know some people take the coach, but that would proper kill me.
Just get a plane, man, innit? Done.
Yeah.
Plane's easy.
Yeah. I'm just trying to work out whether or not the domestic flies to Edinburgh or is it Glasgow, because it's either going to be one of those.
It's not that much. I've heard it's not that much, so you should be fine.
Okay, gotcha. The other thing was apparently, there's been rumor around the campfire that perhaps the Versus fighting will do something big this year, and I remember hearing rumblings way back at EGL that everyone said good shit, Logan, and it says don't be impressed now. Let's see what we've got planned for next year. So it's like. I'm definitely thinking 2013 if we're not all dead, but after the 21st this month.
Is that the day it comes out? Fucking hell.
No, that's the day that they get the money to pay for 1,200 MS points.
Right.
So they keep fucking back.
Okay. Fair enough.
So I definitely think it. By the way, much editing later, but like I said, but definitely 2013. I think
it could be a really good year, man. Because even though some of the things we said wrong with 2012, I think it was still a great year. The amount of UK tournaments that went on outside of the main areas is fantastic. So if people can keep up with those for 2013, as well as the people who do the normal big events, but up their game and make them as good as they used to be, then it could be a fantastic year for events.
Yeah, just have to hope everyone makes it out to them. And there's a lot of events, so a lot of money.
That's the thing as well. There's so many. It's hard to choose. You can try to go to all of them on a budget, but it's
hard. But if I get an idea and if things work out by March, I will probably do like Red Fight District in Amsterdam, and then like go to Hypespotting the next week after. Hopefully.
Yeah, that's a good point. So any of you guys looking to do international? Because I think even
I do international anyway because
by default. Okay, so you're excuse, Mike. So then Scott. Because while you Manx, you definitely travel around the UK. Are any of you looking to go abroad? I know I've heard rumblings that was it Yingen and Matt are going to do the Evo.
Yeah, Evo. Well, for me personally, from my own personal position, I travel the country a lot for tournaments, like a lot, and I'm not good enough. I know I'm not good enough at any one fight. That's why I play everything, like literally everything, because I just enjoy like the community aspect and playing. And if I get a little bit better at a game and then I do well in tournaments, then so be it. But I don't go out of my way to become a pro player or become top level player. So I think that unless I'm winning every event that I turn up to, in the UK, then there's no point in me traveling somewhere else. I'd rather support our own scenes and our own communities and get on with the players I talk to. I think that traveling to, say, World Games Cup or traveling to Evo would just be a great experience. So, yeah, Matt and Ying are looking on going Evo, and probably quite a few of us from Manchester. But for myself, I'm fine where I am at the moment. I might go Evo next year, but I'm not going to go.
Okay, it sounds weird.
Well said, really. I mean,
definitely sure.
I have no choice, but I go to the UK.
Already
I'm going to another. I just recently booked like the cheapest fucking tournament ever, like some Spanish tournament in Barcelona. That should be fun.
Wow.
Called ADFT will be streamed. I'll give you the link and you can watch me. It's just Street Fighter 4 Blaze Blue and Tekken though. It'll be funny to see if I can get to like a playable level of Tekken by then.
There was like 15 Manx in a burger bar watching you play. Was it the Portugal event?
Yeah,
we were just shouting at an iPhone, like, "Come on, Mike!" You know, like your comebacks with Wesker and stuff like that. It was so good.
I don't know. It baffles me, like how I even made third with that team, and I literally somehow managed to avoid the 4 people that were guaranteed to put me out until winners finals, where I had to play Kupo and he beat me. I was like, crap. It's like literally, if I'd run into like Obake, Kantakun, Kupo, or Divine or something, like they would have definitely put me out. And then like I never ran into them really, so I was just like, yes.
Okay.
What about you, Skirmish?
Yeah, like I said,
2013.
Again, I'm definitely down for Hypespotting. I'm just hoping my finances, and the other thing is, if my finances do align, I actually really want to go to Keita's tournament, the Ultimate Fighting Game tournament. It just
I tell you what, man, no man, you want to go to CEO? They have a wrestling ring.
Yeah, I know, but
entrance music.
Oh, that too. But I don't know. There's just something about the UFGT event. It's like it's one of the most. For me, it's the second most fun watching. I mean, obviously, yeah, CEO was really great, but it's a case of, I don't know, because Keats definitely adds more flavor. It's like if I got into the running the tourneys, I would definitely follow his model. You know, things like a scaled payout, so that it's not just the top 3, which is how we've been stuck doing.
Oh yeah, totally, man. Like the further payouts go, the more viable it becomes. But you kind of need esports for that. And it's doing well.
Yeah, and you need really large turnouts as well.
Yeah, DreamHack has done really well this year. I'm not sure if you guys kept up with DreamHack, but I was gonna go to the Valencia one, and then like really quickly life kind of kicked in right before it, and I had to cancel. Right. But you know that had a really good turnout and stuff, and the prize pot was sufficient. It just doesn't pay downwards. It doesn't like go like as low as top 16. But like the Capcom events, some of the American ones were paid out up until the top 16 as well. The 25th anniversary stuff. So that was pretty cool.
But like I said, but regardless, if the finances do align, I really would not. Yeah, I would really mind not traveling out to Keita's event, which is in Chicago, and I don't know. I'm one of those. I don't know how to describe it. It just looks like a really cozy event. I mean, Evo, in theory, everyone's now shouting, "You idiot, if you're going to do that, you might as well save all your money and go Evo." But it's a case
I actually don't like Evo, like, as an event to go to. Nah.
Have you been?
No, of course not. But, like, as an event that I'd want to go to, like, it's run on PS3, it's in Las Vegas, in Las Vegas,
Evo,
it's like...
Evo is the premier fighting game event of the globe.
I know, it's totally cool, and there's like loads of top players or whatever. I don't know, but like, I see like final round and CEO as like ones I'd potentially want to go to more than Evo. Personally,
I guess there's some people in America right now having a podcast where they're talking about how Evo isn't all that and local events are bad, just like we've been doing about our majors. You know what I mean? It's no different. Like saying something as small as T-Sports and Hypespotting being better than the major events like the I Series or the SVB. I guess some people are in America now just doing the same thing about Evo.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of people, because Evo definitely gets the most amount of attention and the most amount of stream viewers and people taking notice of who wins it. I mean, if you win Evo for a game, then that becomes you. Like people say now, like Filipino champ, oh, he's Evo champ and he's Evo Marvel champ. Like Viscount, Evo fraud, you know, like you get noticed straight away. It's the ultimate way of a player getting noticed. If you want to be esports, if you want to be a pro player, you want to be noticed, you want to be on stream, get your 15 minutes of fame, then Evo is definitely the way you need to go. But it's just all that, innit? It's all the entertainment aspect of Evo. I think people like more than anything else.
Oh, for sure. That's good. Right. And yep, this was the People's Podcast, episode number 25, the Christmas special. And I was General Skirmish. That was MetallicMike.
Yo, I don't know. See you guys or whatever.
Yeah, sure. And was Kaworu.
Hi. Bye.
Oh, cool. And like I said, guys, 2013, definitely expecting great. Yeah, definitely expecting great things. Yeah. one other thing before, one thing before we close up. I'm possibly thinking about doing a live version of the show. I've always been against
like a streamed podcast.
I've been against it, but the reason why people do it is because they don't have to edit it. Because that's fundamentally why I'm so damn busy these days. Because it's like,
yeah, but you ask yourself, why do you edit it sometimes? Why do you edit it?
Yeah, I know. I'll give it much editing later. But I know.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't need to edit it if you just leave it as it is. A lot of people like it when people go on tangents or just say, stuff that they shouldn't, because that creates interest.
It's just to keep it compact.
If you edit,
it's to keep it compact, a little bit on top of it. It's fair to say some of the interviews I've done in the past, the guests, if I didn't sort of edit out the long pauses, it would have sounded awful.
Yeah, there's more interaction, and you can go for longer on live streams though, so it's viable. Obviously.
Would you mean like Skype still?
Essentially, it's just going to be how Keats does it at the moment. So literally, that does mean, you'll have to see my ugly mug now and again.
We get some webcams going.
Get some webcams going. Oh yeah.
And as you say, it's interactive.
Get your cock out, mate. Get your
out. So yeah,
I'm live as well, and you get your cock out. That would be fucking hilarious.
Yay! And well, the only other appeal is it would mean that I could just do the show, turn it off, and that's it. People just check out the archive. I mean, I might try it once. I'm working on the possible title of the show. It will be called No Editing Later.
Oh, nice. I love it. Topical.
Okay, but anyway, adios.
Personality.
Right, and that's an off.